Most IT professionals spend their days obsessing over the hypervisor, fine-tuning CPU scheduling, memory ballooning, and virtual network switches. But underneath all of that, doing the hardest work in the stack, is the storage layer. A virtual machine isn't an ethereal floating entity in the cloud. When you strip away the abstraction, a VM is simply a collection of files sitting on a physical hard drive. And these aren't small files. The virtual disk files, usually designated as .vmdk or .vhdx, can easily reach dozens of terabytes. Because they act as the entire hard drive for the guest operating system, they are read and written to constantly. The problem is that legacy file systems were originally engineered for single-user desktops and standard Office documents. They completely collapse under the massive, continuous, and highly randomized read and write cycles generated by enterprise virtual machines. When you force these heavy workloads onto the wrong file system, the infrastructure buckles. You get severe performance stalls, massive storage bloat from inefficient backups, and silent data corruption that destroys databases without triggering a single alarm. The file system is the city planner of your storage. It decides how disk space is divided, where files are constructed, and how to recover when the power fails mid-write. A flawed architectural plan at this base level guarantees that the entire infrastructure will eventually collapse under pressure. Let's see how that pressure actually builds. Imagine a single host server running 50 virtual machines, and all 50 of them attempt to write data to the disk at the exact same millisecond. In a traditional file system, 50 simultaneous write requests slam into a single global lock, creating a massive I/O traffic jam that stalls every VM. XFS solves this by dividing a disk into independent allocation groups, creating multiple parallel pipelines instead of one global lock. By isolating those requests, concurrent VM operations don't interfere with each other. True parallel performance in a multi-VM environment requires a file system structurally designed with these independent, lock-free regions. Next is the snapshot stress test. Say you need to create a backup checkpoint for a massive 500 gigabyte database VM before running a software update. Older file systems handle this using Delta files. The system physically duplicates every changed block of data. This rapidly consumes raw storage capacity, and as snapshot chains grow, performance falls off a cliff. Modern copy-on-write file systems like ReFS and ZFS solve this snapshot sprawl entirely through a different architecture. ReFS, for example, uses a feature called block cloning. When you take a checkpoint, it doesn't physically copy a single block of data. Instead, it writes a new metadata pointer that simply references the original blocks. Copy-on-write takes a heavy, risky operation that used to cost 10 minutes and 500 gigabytes of space, and turns it into a zero-cost metadata update that completes in milliseconds. Our final stress test is the invisible threat of bit rot, silent data corruption caused by microscopic hardware faults like NAND on an SSD. Bit rot is uniquely dangerous because the hardware flips a 1 to a 0, but the legacy file system has no idea. It happily reports a successful error-free readback to the application, quietly baking the corruption into your backups. To defend against this, ZFS aggregates raw physical disks into VDEVs and a single ZPool storage layer, managing the hardware directly. Moving up to datasets and ZVOLs, ZFS applies end-to-end checksumming, creating and verifying a cryptographic fingerprint for every single block of data. If ZFS detects that a fingerprint doesn't match the data, it silently fetches the correct data from a redundant copy and repairs the corruption instantly. The application never even registers a glitch. When you store mission-critical data on commodity hardware, the file system serves as the final mathematical line of defense against the decay of physical drives. Stepping back from individual hosts, platforms like VMware and Nutanix take storage architecture even further. They build specialized, distributed file systems directly into the hypervisor stack, managing massive server clusters simultaneously. This chart compares storage efficiency. On the right, Nutanix and VirtualizFS deliver up to 8 times the capacity. Raw NTFS and XFS sit at the baseline. These gains require strict trade-offs. ZFS needs massive RAM, ReFS is Windows-only, and proprietary systems dictate vendor pricing. You can't design reliable infrastructure by starting with a hypervisor brand allegiance. You have to start at the foundational storage layer, matching the file system's specific engineering trade-offs to your organization's exact requirements for risk, scale, and budget.